All right, are we set to go?
We're all set on this end?
He actually records it in there. And actually, what we do is we record it, but we also have a YouTube channel. So we have a camera that's right, actually, the
Yep,
one up there,
right there.
and goes into the room, and you can link the YouTube interview as well. So there's different ways people actually to so many different ways to get. It's not just the radio anymore. It's actually a lot of online. So all right, so this whenever you're ready, you can play the bumper, and then we'll go.
All right. Stand by.
Okay. And welcome back. It is the WXCO Morning Report, part of Mornings with Pat Kreitlow on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO. And of course, you can also check out our 98.9 WXCO YouTube channel for playbacks of our interviews as we have folks come into studio talking about a whole bunch of different events here in central Wisconsin. And this morning, we're very happy to welcome Alicia Hoffman joining us from Athens to talk about a special event coming up on August 15th as we get closer and closer to the start of school. Alicia, thank you for popping on over.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
You are wearing a sash. That's the first thing I kind of noticed when you walked in. It says Miss Marathon County. Can you talk about what this sash is all about?
Yeah, so our titles are local titles when we first start, and it's related to the Miss Wisconsin America pageant held here in Wausau at UW Civic Center. So we do 4 phases of competition from interview to evening gown to swim, and then at the end, there's 3 winners. So Miss, there's 1 division winner. Misses, we have 2 because there's an America and then an American.
Right.
So it's a little bit, when you first start, it can be a little bit challenging because it's your first time out, but it gets easier. We help each other out, and it's a really great weekend.
And is this event that you're sponsoring part of the work within this pageant, or is this something that's separate from that?
This is involved with that a little bit, but my campaign that I have is Helping Hands, which any little impact could change someone's life. So even if it's a small thing from a little gesture or something, you never know how much the person could appreciate anything.
Let me ask you, what ultimately got you involved in the pageant? Because obviously that's putting yourself out there. And obviously you got the sash right now, so it's obviously going well. But what ultimately got you involved in this? Why did you want to get involved?
So I've seen a couple of my friends who have competed for it before, and I've watched them on the Facebook live stream. And I've wanted to try it, and I was like, at first, I come from where I used to compete in rodeos and a lot of work with horses and animals, so it was like not a thing right away. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm fit for this, but when you try it after the first time, it's really fun, and you meet a whole bunch of people, and it's just a really fun experience.
That's one of the things that is very interesting about this story, just from the basics that I've heard, is that there's quite a difference between the evening gowns and the rodeo. Actually, let me ask you about the rodeo aspect, because obviously this time of year just wrapped up the Wisconsin Valley Fair, and there's obviously a lot of farming and rodeos and that kind of stuff that's involved in that. When did you first get involved in rodeo activity?
So when I was like probably 10ish, I started doing a couple events here and there for barrel racing, which that's what I still help teach kids now, and still work with animals and stuff with that. But they have a lot of different animals, from horses to cows to anything you could probably imagine, and a lot to see. But I just really love the adrenaline that I get from barrel racing, and just the aspect of we all just clap for each other and show our support, because it takes practice for any event you do. They aren't the easiest, but
not bucking the Broncos at this point.
no.
The barrel racing. How far do you go for this? I mean, do you travel around and go to different competitions?
So I do a couple of them where I travel around to different ones to compete. It's just when my schedule is more free sometimes, but I try to do one every once in a while now still, and try to make it fit into my schedule. But I go throughout Wisconsin and then a little bit further out. So
Again, we're talking to Alicia Hoffman, Miss Marathon County, Wisconsin, as she is here to talk a little bit about that, but also to talk about really, I think, a cool event that is coming up on August the 15th. And of course, as we get into the month of August, one of the things that I was saying to my producer just the other day, that when you get to this time of year, when you're a kid, you start thinking, oh, it's time to go shopping. It's time to go get school supplies. It's time to go get those new shoes or the new jeans or anything like that. And for some people, that can be a very difficult time as well, because some families are struggling and some families just can't afford to get all these supplies for the kids as school starts up again in just a few weeks' time. So you're going to do a special event coming up on the 15th in Athens, aren't you?
Yes, so the event's actually the 16th.
Oh, the 16th, okay.
But it's the Saturday of wristbands for the Athens Fair, and I won the 2020 Athens Fair Queen title. We just didn't have fair because of COVID. But
so you are somebody that's already won multiple crowns, haven't you?
Yes. We just didn't have fair with COVID, and I was like,
right.
But I technically did, but we just were raising money for a good cause. But the event is where I helped a couple years for now for my friends that she does in Fond du Lac, which she gives away same thing, school supplies to anyone who needs them. And I thought it would be a really good idea to bring that here towards central Wisconsin, because there's a lot of families that probably could use the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just cost keeps adding up with school supplies. It can get outrageous, and just with that and clothes that people need for school. And so it's like, I wanted to come up with a really good idea to give back and just to show that there are people who are watching out for you. And I want to make this an annual event also, where it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So every day after the 1st or the 16th, so the 17th, I'll start collecting for the next year already. So it's going to be a continuous every year thing.
Okay, so this is going on August 16th. It's going to start at 8 a.m. in the morning, so bright and early. And again, this is a case of different groups actually, I think, helping each other, because number one, you need the folks who are willing to donate. And I think one of the things that when I first saw this, that there are folks that may, as I said, back in the past had kids and they went out and they shopped and got the new notebooks, got the new sets of pencils and everything else, that maybe they could go out there and do it again, but make a donation for those that have kids now that are struggling a little bit. But basically, you want people to make the donation, but then also the folks that are in need to come by and pick them up, correct? Yep. And it's all in that one day.
Yep, it's all that one day until everything's gone. So,
are you already taking donations for this?
I am taking donations right now. I can pick up anything, or if you want to Venmo me or message me and do it that way, I can just go and buy the stuff for you guys to make it easier if you live farther away and still want to help with the cause. So
how do they reach out to you? How do they get that step in order to make the donation?
So I'm on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and you can also, my Venmo, you can look up at Angel Miss 2020, and that's my Venmo account. So you can go on directly Venmo me, and then I can buy the stuff for you guys. If you can't get to it or live farther away, you still can have the option to reach out.
What we're going to do is that coming up at the end of the program, each day we put on as a podcast our local WXCO morning report segments under the WXCO news part of our website at WXCO.FM. And we have show notes, and we're going to put all that contact information within our show notes. So if you go to our podcast and be able to take a look at that, you'll be able to see the different ways that you can contact Alicia in terms of making these donations. And you got a couple of weeks here to make these donations and to be part of something that's really positive. So again, when we are done at just after 9 o'clock, that's when we put up the podcast and we put up our show notes. So again, just go to that, and then you'll be able to get all the information you need in terms of reaching out to Alicia and making these donations, whether again it's pencils or newspaper, I should say notebooks or clothes or anything, right?
Yep.
Correct? I mean,
lunchboxes, backpacks.
When you think about school supplies, there are so many different ways you can go into it,
and the cost can just add up. If you need a lot for a specific grade, that's any grade right now, it's like you need everything. It's like you don't need to have expensive things. It's like just the basics could really help get kids through.
And the whole thing about it as well, I mean, within a family, and for the kids especially, when you think of a kid that's in need, that may not have all those different pieces that you need to start off the school year well, it puts them behind the eight ball. And to be able to help a kid, I think there's nothing really better than that. It really isn't. I mean, and we know it.
Yeah.
We've gone through the school age travails, that it's not easy when everything's going well. But when things aren't going well, when your family is struggling, that those are the times that sometimes the kids fall behind, and it can be very difficult for them to catch up. So I think this is just a wonderful idea. Let me ask you about the folks that are in need. Sometimes it's hard to reach out, and sometimes it's hard to say, hey, we do need a little bit of help. For those that have to come on the 16th, don't be afraid, correct?
Yeah, don't be afraid to come out. And if you can't get there physically, if you need certain things, like let me know. I can just drop it off at your guys' house. If you just can't get there, and if you're busy, just feel free to reach out. And I'm really hoping that's a great day. And like I said, this will be an annual event that I really want to bring back every year.
Let me ask you again the basic question. Why? Why did it? I mean, this is not a small undertaking to try to put together, to try to bring people that are donating and the folks that are going to be the recipients of these donations. What was it within yourself that said, hey, this is something I want to do?
So the reason why I decided to do this is just from my own personal experience, but also that with my mission or goal in life is to make as many lives change as I can. And I just really want to help out anyone that needs it, and just be that person that can jump in whenever you guys need anything. And I just really want to help our communities build and get stronger, because we need to do that for each other. And that's the only way our communities are going to get bigger and thrive.
Could I ask you what maybe your dreams are in your future life? I mean, obviously you're still a young person who is just starting, I think, probably the journey of your adult life. What is maybe do you look at public service as something you want to continue to do as you continue?
Yes, I do want to continue to advocate for our communities and just talk to people, get to know their stories, and just see what everyone needs, or just to be there for helping, and just to...
Are you an Athens native?
Yes, I was born and raised in Athens, graduated from the high school in 2020, and lived there all my life, never moved. And Wausau, I take classes in Wausau. It's my home, away from home, basically. So
for folks that, because obviously Athens is just down 29 and then a right to get to Athens. Yep. What's the best thing about growing up in Athens and living in Athens to this day?
Probably the best thing growing up would be to go and look at all the animals at the fair, and just go look at all the animals. We have neighbors and stuff when I go and help them do stuff, just to experience our nature and just to experience the country. I've lived there in the country outside town pretty much forever.
And the Athens Fair is a pretty big thing, isn't it?
Yep. I don't remember what year it's on this year, but it's a pretty big event. We have wristband day usually on Saturdays, and then we have music, games, a whole bunch of vendors that come out, and just a whole bunch of food stands. So there's always something to eat. And you can try whatever. So there's a bunch of options.
There you go. And again, I think the most important thing to remind folks is coming up on August the 16th, Saturday, August the 16th. It is the Back to School Bash hosted by Alicia Hoffman. The event will be held in the Athens Elementary School parking lot. And again, it's about raising items for families in need. And is it just Athens, or folks in the general area?
General area. And then, like I said, next year when it comes back, I do want to do it where it's more like Wausau location held. So that way it can be a bigger area and more people can come out. And I'm sure there's a lot of families just in central Wisconsin here that could also just use the help. Even if it's a little bit, it could help no matter what.
So again, if you'd be interested in donating any items for this terrific event, whether clothing or folders or notebooks, binders, pencil cases,
scissors, glue
and
sticks,
anything a kid might need for school that is starting sooner than people probably are hoping for, because summer goes by so very quickly. And again, any of the donations would be greatly appreciated. And again, what we're going to do is put all the information to contact Alicia to be able to make these donations in our show notes. But again, I guess for our final moments, what's the best way right now for folks who are tuned in right now before you even go to the show notes to be able to make those donations?
So the best way is probably just to go ahead and look on Facebook and find me on there, and just use Messenger.
Fantastic.
Or they'll have my contact info on there, so you can just send a message over that way too. So
Alicia Hoffman, again, number one, congrats on your success in the pageant. Best of luck as you continue there, but even more importantly, to be able to give back to your community like this, to give back to the kids and the families in need, I think is just a wonderful story. And folks, again, you got a couple of weeks here to get those donations in, and then pay a visit to Athens. Go to the fair that weekend.
Yeah.
Stop by the Athens Elementary School parking lot starting at 8 a.m. Say hello to Alicia. Say thank you for what she's doing. And also, again, if you are a family in need, make sure you reach out to Alicia. Make sure you come out to the Athens Elementary School
yeah, I'll
parking
be
lot.
at the fair all basically weekend for the most part with that, looking around, walking around. So
fantastic. You'll be the one in the sash, right? But Alicia, thank you for coming in. Enjoy the fair. And again, best of luck as you start this project.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick time out and come back with more here on 98.9 WXCO.
And we're clear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.